What is going on? Jordan Sherwood, Wood on 1063, FatJackSports.com. Look ahead to UFC 256, which should be an outstanding card from top to bottom. A lot of notable names, and of course, you have a flyweight championship fight, and of course, a very intriguing co-main event between former interim title challenger Tony Ferguson against Charles the Bronx Oliveira. 27 post-fight bonuses between those two individuals. So it should be a fantastic co-main event. Plus, former UFC heavyweight champion Junior Dos Santos, Jacare Souza versus Kevin Holland. Really sick fight card, top to bottom. Okay, Deiveson Figueredo, shortest turnaround in UFC championship history, 21 days since he guillotined Alex Perez to successfully defend the flyweight championship of the world. Brandon Moreno on that same card. He got a first round stoppage against Brandon Royval after Royval dislocated his shoulder. This fight is great. This fight is fantastic. This fight is fireworks. And I do believe that Deiveson Figueredo is going to be a dominating champion. I think that he's got all the skill set, the tools in the arsenal from a power striking standpoint, a brutal submission game. He hasn't shown yet to be weathered by certain cardio issues. Of course, this is the first time, or not the first time, that he could be going into the championship rounds. But people are pointing to, look, he had two championship preparations against Joseph Benavidez, got rid of Joe in either a round or the second round. This one also could go into the championship rounds. I don't believe it will. I believe the short turnaround, and he made weight today, favors the champion. I think that a longer fight camp, more studying, more opportunity for Brandon Moreno, the baby-faced assassin or the assassin baby, would have paid him dividends because he was able to utilize his wrestling, his grappling, and drag this fight out. Figueredo could keep up the absolutely dominating attack that he has early on in fights. The problem for Moreno is that he gets into firefights. He finds himself in the middle of those, and while he's been successful of late, and he's been able to go on this, current nice win streak, and he's got a nice victory over Kai Kara France, who's a tough contender. He beat Tim Elliott, who challenged for the championship. That's the wrong formula for a fight against Figueredo. The power that he possesses, the natural killer instincts that he has. It's not one of our plays at FatCheckSports.com. We've got 4 in total and one opinion, so 5 plays that we're recommending. It's not one of our plays, but I'm going to go ahead and say Figueredo wins the fight. He wins it by stoppage. He wins it within 2.5 rounds. So that's how I favor it. I felt Brandon Moreno was going to challenge for the championship at one time or another at some point in his career. He gets it a little bit earlier, even though he's been in the UFC for quite some time. He's only 27 years of age. But that fight certainly, I think, is going to be, and still, UFC Flyweight Champion. Co-main event, fantastic fight. As I mentioned, 27 post-fight bonuses between Charles the Bronx Oliveira, who has the most submissions in UFC history, against Tony Ferguson, the former UFC interim champion. The whole storyline has to be what Tony Ferguson shows up. Did he lose anything in that absolutely dominating performance against Justin Gaethje? Is he questioning himself? Is he in the right mindset? He looked fantastic in the weigh-ins. He's been Tony Ferguson-esque all week with his antics, his responses, his dealings with the media. And he has a skill set. The pressure, the volume striking, the cardio, and the submission game that certainly not on the same level as an Oliveira, but is very, very good. That's the formula that beats Charles Oliveira. Now, Charles Oliveira is on an unbelievable run. He looked fantastic in his last fight, which was a submission victory over Kevin Lee in the inaugural fight since the pandemic. But he hasn't fought since then. Weight cutting hasn't been an issue. He's looked great at 155 pounds. Here's the opinion. We give it out to all the Fat Jack subscribers. I'm giving it to you here. Tony Ferguson by TKO, you can get a plus 275 right now. If there's going to be a finish in this fight favoring Ferguson, he's going to outland and hurt Oliveira and finish him off via strikes. That's how we've seen Charles Oliveira get finished during this recent run. Of course, he's been submitted before. Won't forget, ignore the fact Jim Miller submitted him early on in Charles Oliveira's career. But that's how we think the fight's going to go. We do believe that Tony Ferguson will be right in this fight, that he will utilize his cardio, which is one of the best we've ever seen, his volume striking, and it's going to best Charles Oliveira, because Charles Oliveira is also not going to fight defensively like Justin Gaethje did. He's going to go and try and live by the sword, die by the sword. We have a selection in the heavyweight feature between Ciryl Gane and Junior Dos Santos. Junior Dos Santos has been knocked out 3 fights in a row against upper-level competition, better competition than Ciryl Gane's going to provide. 6-0, young prospect, but has all of the notoriety and a lot of the hype coming into that fight. So does the footwork of Ciryl Gane, the quickness of Ciryl Gane, get the best of JDS? Or does JDS utilize some of his lateral movement, his boxing, and is able to stay away from Ciryl Gane? It's going to be a very tall order. Ciryl Gane's going to have a 6-inch reach advantage. The speed, the footwork's going to cause issues, and we've seen it. JDS was winning the fight against Rosenstruck his last time out, got touched up one time, and he's done. So that's what you have to look at. If you think Ciryl Gane's going to win the fight and win it quickly, he's going to touch him one time, and that's going to be all she wrote. Very interested in to see how Jindy Raba and Mackenzie Dern play out. We don't have a play on that. I recommend Jindy Raba. I think as a live dog, that's certainly to be considered. She looked fantastic against Felice Herrig her last time out. We have a play in the Renato Moicano Aziz fight, so check that out there. We have a play in the Chase Hooper fight. So there's a lot going on. Again, 4 selections for UFC 256, 1 opinion, and that's the Tony Ferguson TKO finish. So play that as you must. And check me out on Twitter, woodon1063, fatjacksports.com, and enjoy the fights.